just look at that and listen to how crispy it is on the outside and how fluffy it is on the inside. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to make a little bit of bara and serve it up with some tamarind sauce. Every once in a while, you get these cravings for these traditional dishes, something to snack on, something that's probably not the best for you, but you still want it. So recently, I had a friend, Dinesh, reach out to me and he wanted to gift me some of his homemade tamarind sauce. Now, he started his own small business. It is called Wild Tamarind, and I'll show some pictures here and I will, go ahead and tell you a little bit about his story. Basically, his friends and family love the way that he makes his tamarind sauce or tamarind chutney. And for any of you guys that don't know what tamarind sauce is used for, it is basically used as a dipping sauce for any type of fried snacks or things like that, especially in Guyanese and Trini households. So he sent me the mild version. He also sent me the hot version. And he just wanted me to go ahead and unbox them and just give them a taste for you guys to show you guys what they are and how they taste, give you guys my honest review. So I want to thank him for sending me this, and for you guys out there, make sure you guys are supporting small businesses. I'll leave all of his information in the description box down below. And again, it's called Wild Tamarind. I really like the packaging that they went with. It's very simple, but honestly, it looks awesome. So props to him. Thanks for sending me this, and I'm gonna make a little bit of bara a different way. I'll show you guys how, and then at the end of this video, we're gonna taste it with this tamarind sauce. Now, before I get into this video, this is just a big disclaimer for everybody out there. For all of you traditionalists, I'm not making the traditional Guyanese style bara today. I'm gonna do it a little bit differently, and this one is gonna be a very simple recipe for people out there who might not know how to mix the ingredients properly. Although I do have recipes on my channel that are step-by-step and they have the ingredients and measurements, sometimes it's a little hard for people to put these dishes together as well. So I wanted to go ahead and give you guys like a cheat way on how to make bara. So recently in one of my callaloo boxes that I got, they sent me this chief bara mix. Now, I know that there's a difference between Trini style bara and Guyanese bara. The Trini bara is basically very flat and thin, and that is what they use to put doubles together. But being that this mix already has some yeast in it, some salt, the flour, I already decided that, you know what, it has all of the main ingredients that you need for bara. All you need to do is flavor it up a bit. So it'll fry up the same probably. I've never tried this before, but we're gonna put it together today. You guys are gonna test it out with me. So if you guys wanna see how to put this together really quick, really fast, really simple, and just something different from the normal, then please keep on. So we're just gonna start off by getting some of the fresh ingredients prepped for the bara. Remember, as I said before, this is not traditional, so some of the things that you're gonna see me add in are not as per a traditional bara recipe, just a little bit something different. So I'm gonna start off by chopping up some scallions, and these are some homegrown scallions that we have growing in our garden. So I just wanted to use those up because they were growing on the plant, and obviously they're fresh, so fresh is best. Usually we would put bhaji or spinach in our bara, but I wanted to just go ahead and use the scallions today. Some people just use scallions, some people use a mixture of scallions and bhaji or spinach. Some people make it plain, so it definitely depends on your own tastes and preferences. This is for people, I guess, who don't like the spinach, so I just wanted to show you guys how we would do it with scallions. So I've got those chopped up. And another ingredient that I wanted to add in today is some culantro. Now, culantro is definitely not a traditional Guyanese thing. I just had some fresh culantro on hand, so I wanted to put it in because it acts almost like cilantro. It adds a really nice fresh taste to whatever you added in. So I'm just gonna chop that up very fine. So the next thing I want to do is just pound some garlic cloves. And I have frozen garlic cloves just because it's easier for me to not have to peel garlic. And I'm also going to go in with some hot pepper. When making bara, my grandmother always says you need to give it good pepper and you got to give it good garlic, which means you got to put a good amount of both of them. So this way they have a really nice flavor. And I'm going to go in with some wiri peppers. And if you guys ever get these fresh, wash them and stick them in the freezer and they stay really well. So once you add those in, you're just going to pound them in your mortar and pestle until you get a fine paste. So I've got all of my ingredients prepped, and now is the easy part. All we have to do is mix everything together. So into my bowl, I'm going to add in my chief bara mix. I'm just using one of the packages. It's a 300 gram package. And just for the sake of showing you guys how many cups is in here, I'm going to measure it out. I'm guessing it's about 2 cups. Yeah, so it's just a little bit over 2 cups, so we're gonna add all of that in. So on top of that Bara mix that I've added in, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of all-purpose flour. The reason why I'm going in with all-purpose flour is because I'm not sure exactly how much yeast they've added into this mix. And as you guys know, whenever I make Bara, I don't add in a lot of yeast. The reason being is because the more yeast you add, the more oily that Bara comes out. So by adding in a little bit of all-purpose flour, it's going to go ahead and soak up a little bit more of that yeast, and hopefully it will not be super oily. We are experimenting today, so it might come out amazing, might not come out amazing, but we're all going to learn together. And I will make some tweaks if I need to, so this way I can definitely share this recipe with you guys. And on top of that flour and the Bara mixture, I'm going in with a little pinch of salt. The reason why I'm doing that is because even though the batter or the Bara mix has salt already, the flour that I added in is going to reduce that flavor a bit, so I wanted to make up for that. Now on top of that, I'm going to go in with some turmeric powder, or dye as Guyanese people know it as. I like my Bara to be yellow, some people don't, so this might be optional if you don't like it super yellow, because the Bara mix has a little bit of turmeric in it already. And I'm also going to go in with a little bit of ground geera, and this is basically cumin seeds that have been roasted and they are ground up. This is homemade, and I have a video on my channel on how to do that. I'll link it down below. And Guyanese Bara always has a little bit of split peas powder in it. And I have my split peas powder here. This is the brand that I use, the Guyanese Pride brand. And it's basically like a split pea flour almost. So I'm just gonna go in with a couple tablespoons of that. It doesn't require much, but we do wanna get that texture and that subtle taste that it has. And once you add all of those dried ingredients in, we're gonna go ahead and give it a quick mix. And once you go in with all of your dried ingredients, you're gonna go in with your ground garlic and pepper that we did in our mortar and pestle. As I said before, if you want to put it in a food processor or something like that, feel free to do that. And I'm also going to go in with my chopped scallions and my chopped culantro. So all I'm going to go ahead and do is mix this up just a little bit. And I'm actually going to start to pour in a little bit of water on top of it. So this way it can just help me work in that garlic and pepper everywhere. And you guys, although it's just a dough and a batter that we're making, it smells so good already. So we're going to keep on streaming in this warm water, and you have to make sure to use warm water that's not too hot or not too cold, because if it is too hot or too cold, it will kill that yeast that is in the batter. So as you guys can see, my dough has come together really well. It looks like Bara dough. This is exactly what you want. Something that is not too sticky, but also something that is not too firm, because if it's too firm, you're going to get a very tough and a dry Bara. But if it is too soft, what happens is it's too much of a batter and you can't lift it up and drop it into the oil. And then it also becomes very, very oily in that oil. Together, it is time to beat it a little bit. The reason why we beat the Bara dough or whip it is so this way it can become airy, it can become fluffy, and you'll get a soft, crispy Bara in the end. So one of the biggest tips that my grandmother gave me when she was teaching me how to make this recipe is to take a little bit of oil and dab it onto the dough. So all I'm going to go ahead and do is dip my hand in some oil. This is just about a teaspoon of oil. I'm going to get it all around there. And I'm just going to work it in a little bit. And I'm going to show you guys how we beat the dough. So all you do is try to scrape everything off your hands. And then you go under the dough. And you're going to beat it just like that. And this is going to create a fluffy and a perfect Bara. And you're going to cover this dough and leave it in a warm place to rise for about an hour to an hour and a half, just so this way it can allow that dough to rest, and then we can go ahead and fry it later on. Alright everyone, so I just wanted to show you guys my setup that I have here. My Bara dough has been resting for about an hour at this point, and you might not see the Bara rise up a lot because it's not so much yeast in it, but it will puff up just a little bit. And I have my oil here that is heating up. I'm using canola oil today. You can use vegetable oil or any light tasting oil. I also have another bowl lined with some paper towels so I can put my Bara in and it'll drain off that excess oil. And I have a little bowl that I've put a couple tablespoons of oil in. That's just to go ahead and rub into between my fingers. So this way when I pick up my Bara dough to put it in the hot oil, it won't stick up all over my fingers. That's just a little tip for you guys. Once your oil comes up to temperature, all you're going to do is grab little pieces of your Bara dough and you're going to put it into the hot oil. You want to dip your fingers in that oil that you have off to the side. Just spread it out. And you could do this with 2 fingers if you want. This is how you do it with 2 fingers if you're doing it that way. And you just drop it in. And as soon as you add them in, they should start to come up to the top. You don't want them to stay at the bottom too long, or else they will become very, very oily and they won't be cooked on the inside. So I'm going to keep dropping these in. I'm going to cook them for about 1 to 2 minutes on each side until they get a beautiful golden brown color and they're nice and crispy and fluffy. Once you see that they're golden brown on the edges, you're just going to start to flip them. And look at that beautiful golden color. That's exactly what you want. So I'm going to keep on turning these, and when they're ready to come out of the oil, I'll show you guys what they look like. So this is the color that I'm looking for, so I'm going to take them out of the oil. They've been cooking for only about 3 minutes at this point, and that is all that you need. And as you guys can see, one just ran away from me. So once you finish frying one batch, you're going to continue doing the exact same thing until you finish frying all of your bara. And you can make them as big or as small as you would like. And the great thing about bara is all of the different shapes that you're going to get. It's a very rustic dish. So when you're putting it together, you don't know what kind of shapes you're going to get until you are done. Alright guys, so my mom and I are going to try out this bara that I just made, as well as a tamarind sauce from Wild Tamarind. So we're just going to rip into one of these baras and just look at that and listen to how crispy it is on the outside and how fluffy it is on the inside. So we're going to go ahead and dip it into this tamarind sauce. And I really like this tamarind sauce because it's not watery, it's nice and thick. And we're going to try it now. The sauce is really, really good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you guys did, make sure you go ahead and check out Dinesh with his wild tamarind sauce. I'll have all of his information in the description box down below for you guys to check out. The sauce is super spicy, packed full of flavor, and not watery. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed yet, and drop those comments down below and let me know what you guys would like to make next. And I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye everyone.